Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, today is Sunday. Give me one moment here. Okay. All right, today is Sunday. I got an exciting episode for you guys. We're going to have a juicy thread. After the thread, I want to talk about Love is Blind Season 7. I've been watching it. I've caught up to as many episodes that are out right now. I have not watched the newest episode that has come out. I think it's like meeting the parents and all that kind of stuff. Have not seen that episode yet, but I kind of wanted to do it in chunks. So I wanted to get pretty much from the pods to Mexico, and then we'll go into, the later ons and the weddings and then the reunion and everything after that. But we'll get into that. I got lots to say. There's a lot of couples that I enjoy. There's a lot of couples that I don't enjoy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And we'll go through every person one by one. And then we'll talk about them overall as a couple and everything like that. And then hopefully we'll have enough time for a couple scenarios at the end. If I don't get to the scenarios today, I do apologize. But, I'm going to try my best to get through everything. So, all right, our thread today is people who got cheated on. What were the early signs indicating that your partner might do it before they actually cheat? All right. So let's see what's up. Look out for over-explanations of simple things. When the dinner with her friend has a TV script attached to it, you know something's up. Guess this is more for ongoing cheating, but still applicable, I guess. Facts. That's, yeah, overcomplications of just simple things. It was just like, oh, how was the dinner? Oh, it was good. We did this and we did that. And, my friend was saying this and saying, and it's just like, okay, damn, I didn't ask for all that. But see, a lot of times that gets very, very dismissed, because we think like, it is what it is. It's whatever, and you're just like, and for a guy, a lot of times we're just like, dang, babe, I didn't ask you all that. I just asked if you had a good time or not, and then reality, this friend is, somebody else. I always find it unusual when I just start getting accused of cheating or an unusual amount of fabricated fights because I immediately recognize a guilty conscience. Ooh. Yeah, the whole accusal of cheating is crazy. Look, man, if you ain't got no evidence on that motherfucker, honestly, odds are you probably the one doing the cheating. Let's be real here. Because a lot of times, nobody is going to come up to their partner unless they have evidence like, oh, look, I think you're cheating on me, da-da-da. And it's just like, what do you mean? Look, what is this? Unless you doing some shady shit yourself. If the accusations is flying, it might be some reflection going on there. Acting like they hate a certain person, really despise them, when in actual fact they fancy them and are secretly seducing. Oh, that has don't worry about him/her written all over it. Oh, man. If your partner is sitting there talking about, oh, babe, don't worry about him, don't worry about her. Yeah, you got a lot to worry about. Especially if they trash talking somebody, because I've had that happen so many times to me. Oh, where I'm talking to a girl and she's trash talking this dude that she used to talk to, whatever. And then a week later they start dating and you're like, bitch, really? You know what I mean? You're just like, what the fuck, man? What the heck? It's just like, bruh. I don't get it. You were trash talking this dude. You were putting him down, talking about I'm better than him, and then all of a sudden you're fucking him. What the hell? So, yeah. When they start using their phone in secret agent mode and suddenly had and inexplicable interest in getting really fit with someone who wasn't you, those were the signs. It's like watching a poorly disguised heist movie where you're the last to know. Bro, especially the getting in shape one. Oh my God, yes. And because my ex, she was never really the one to kind of work out that much. She was never really the one to kind of like want to be in shape. She never let herself go, nothing like that. But you know, she gained the relationship 10, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're in a relationship, you gain a little 10 pounds or whatever. But it wasn't until like the relationship was over or like it was being close to that to where she really started taking a lot of that serious. And to me, I was over here stupid thinking like, oh yeah, you're doing it, you know, to look good for your boy. Nah, she was looking good for her single life. That's what it was. And I was just, because once I saw her like kind of getting in shape and doing her thing, I started to do that because I'm like, oh shit, if my girl is, you know, getting in shape and doing her thing, like me, I'm going to do that too. I want to look sexy for my girl. And so, you know, I started taking it real serious. And then, yeah, you know, a month later, she was like, piece of chicken grease, motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, so we weren't getting sexy for each other. I was getting sexy for you, but you was getting sexy for potential next man. Like, oh, damn. All right, then. Oh, man, that was one of my darkest days, brother. Oh, my God, one of my darkest days. I was sitting there just thinking to myself, like, fuck, I am an idiot. So, yeah, hey, facts. The whole secret agent mode thing with the phone, I haven't had really too much with that. I'm sure it does happen, though. But, yeah. Okay. A hard shift in typical behavior, usually revolving around things that were previously public, suddenly being secret. I caught my ex-girlfriend cheating because she would usually talk about where/who she was with often, then suddenly became vague about those details. She used to have me use her phone to look things up, and around that same time, she suddenly was very guarded about where it was and wouldn't let me look. She also stopped sharing her work schedule. She got caught because she said she would be working a double, and I had already suspected some shenanigans. So when I casually walked into her work, and not to call her cell directly to ask her something, they said she wasn't there. I immediately called her cell, and she was and she said she was in her unit and not to disturb her. Aww. If you were at work, we would be having this conversation face to face. And hung up. She knew it was over. We had the talk a few hours later and went our separate ways. Yo. Yeah, she was definitely cheating, brother. Oh. She said she was at work when she wasn't. It was like, hey, where are you at? You're not at work? It was like, yeah, I'm in my unit. Look, I'm really busy. Just don't bother me right now. I'm in your unit. I'm in your cubicle, baby. I'm here. If you weren't here and telling the truth, we would be doing this face to face. But nah, we're not. We're over the phone right now. Like, the fuck are you doing? And my biggest thing is like, if it gets to that point, why are you guys still together? You know, if it gets to that point, why are you guys still together? That makes no sense to me. Why you would stay with somebody and you guys, you just have to hide everything and lie to them and do like, why do all of that extra shit when you know you don't want to be with them anymore? It makes no sense to me. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you going to do all this extra shit when you just don't need to? I don't know. I'll never understand it. Sudden interest in losing weight, distance, unwarranted anger at me, work trips away with late flights home, lack of interest in me or my family, lack of interest in sex, with me anyway. Looking back, they add up, but at the time, it can be hard to put your finger on it. And in my instance, I thought he was depressed. See, and that's another tough thing too, because you want to have the benefit of the doubt for your partner so bad. I know for me, I always want to have the benefit of the doubt for my partner. You know, I want to be like, nah, they're going through something. Nah, they're dealing with something. Nah, you know, maybe it's just, I don't know. You know, Mercury's in the microwave. Something's going on. You know, I give them the fucking benefit of the doubt because you never want to look at your partner like that. You never want to look at your partner like they're a cheater. You never want to look at your partner as like, oh, you know, they're a bad person. You don't want to look at them like that. So you come up with these excuses and you come up with, you know, things. And it sucks because it's like you don't want to sit there and be like, every time, you know, you get with somebody and they're acting like that, you don't want to go straight to, oh, they're cheating. Oh, they like somebody else. Oh, they're disinterested. You know, like you don't want to do that all the time. And I think that's what really fucking sucks because it's just like, what the heck? You know? It just sucks because sometimes I wish people would just be forthright if like you are starting to feel like the relationship is not going the way you want it to, or you're not feeling it anymore. Like, let's have a conversation about it at least. So that way we can at least go somewhere and talk about it, try to figure something out. And if there's just nothing to figure out, then it's like, you know, I just want to like end it there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of how I feel about that, you know. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Sorry, I lost my plays. Okay, here we go. All right. When they're unhappy about something in your relationship and they suddenly stop caring about it. You know, honestly, that one doesn't really happen too much. And what I mean by that is you won't know that they're unhappy about something. You know, they may voice like a small thing like, oh, you know, work sucked, or oh, I didn't like that this happened, or but it's never what they're unhappy about you with, you know? Think about it like this. You're in a relationship with somebody and they're unhappy with something that you've done, but then they won't say that. They will say that they're unhappy with something else. And it's like, no. If you're unhappy with something I did, tell me that, you know? And so that for me is like how I feel with that. It's just like, you know, what the heck? I want you to tell me what's going on, you know? Yeah. All right. Whatever trace of my presence I left in his apartment, a sticker, hairpin, or a note, it made him upset because he considered it possessive. Nah, he didn't want another girl to find it. That's what it was. He didn't want another girl to find it. That's what it was. The truth is, he just wanted his crib to pass for a bachelor pad so that no other woman would suspect he's in a relationship. Facts. Oh, man. Also, he did his best to look single when attending any parties together with me under the pretext, I hate clinginess in public, you know, just in case he'd run into someone he was interested in. Yo, this man's bold. He was just like, yeah, I'm with my girl, but, you know, what I'm going to do is if I meet a little thing I'm interested in. Psh.
We'll be right back.
4 out of shape. 4 dads. Out of shape.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Dad Advice Podcast.
Hanging out once a week. Consuming beers. What will they say next?
Confucius said, "You can go to bed with itchy butt, wake up with stinky fingers." You ever use a bidet? Bidet to you, sir. Get him a telescope so he can see Uranus from farther away.
Can we give some dad advice here? If the buttons on your shirt button the opposite way, that's the lady's shirt.
Let it fly. That's crazy. Like, no, that's just my friend. No, that's my cousin. Like, nigga. That's crazy, bruh. And it sucks for her because she probably didn't even know. She was probably thinking like, oh, I don't want to be too clingy. I don't want to lose him, or make him upset. Oh, no, I don't want to do these things because, I don't want to start a fight. Like, I don't want to do that, Oh, you don't really like PDA? Okay, no, that's totally fine. Like, it's all good as long as I get, PDA when we're like alone together and stuff. Oh, she was probably going through it. Oh, my God, she was going through it. All right, he checked out other women, not just a bit, but in obvious ways. I'm also here to say that people that chase after that exciting feeling of love are, in my opinion, much more likely to cheat. They'll always be searching for that feeling, and you can't give them that forever. They also give themselves away in small ways, like saying all men cheat or that they're not a good person. They'll even say things in a joking way, but actually they're telling on themselves. Also, just a extra note, stay away from men that disrespect older women or older people in general. It was a big sign that he wanted to cling onto his youth. People like that usually cheat on you with someone younger someday because they hate growing old. Hope that helps. Look, man. As a dude, I'm going to keep it hundo P with you. I don't care what guy you're with, and I don't care how in love with you he is. He's going to always check out other chicks. Sorry. He's going to always check out other girls. I don't care if this man is madly in love with you. I don't care if he would, he would never cheat and he's the perfectest guy ever. Trust me. He's checking out other girls regardless. It's either he's really good at hiding it while you're with him, or he's only doing it when you're not around. Like, let's keep it hundo P. All right. And that's just a tough reality that women are just going to have to understand. There is no straight guy on this planet that is not checking out other women, even if they have a girlfriend. Sorry. Even if they're married, I don't give a fuck. There is no straight dude that it just is what it is, man. And so that is something you're just going to have to concede with, if I'm being real with you. That is something you're just going to have to concede with. The whole them giving themselves away in a small way and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, look, I've never really dealt with that kind of person, if I'm being real with you. But, I mean, I'm sure there's some validity to that. The whole men who disrespect older women and all that in general. I don't know. I mean, I don't know really any dudes that do that. I don't understand. This obviously is probably an older woman, but you got to understand that there are, I think it all depends on what this disrespect is, in quotations, of course. Like if he's just being blatantly rude for no fucking reason, then all right. But I mean, low-key, if it's valid, it's like, it's valid, because obviously in the world today, in the space today, there are a lot of older women who sit there and they are like, oh, I wonder why I can't find a man, And guys would be like, well, because you left the casino with no chips. You know what I mean? You decided to mess around in your 20s. You decided to, go the career route. And then now you want to get a dude. Well, but guess what? Men don't really want older women. Sorry. You know what I mean? We don't want them like that. You're not as attractive anymore. Sure, we'll have some sex with you, but that's about it. And I think that's the angle where she's coming from. And I think that's the disrespect that she's talking about. And personally, I don't see that as disrespect. I see that as just telling her the tough truth. It's a hard pill to swallow, but sorry, that's where your life ended up. And now the guy that you want doesn't want you back. When back then, the guy did want you, but you didn't want him. Because you had the options, you had all the attention, you had everything going for you, and you squander it. You blew it. It's just the way it is. And I don't think that's being disrespectful. And if you think that's being disrespectful, then sorry, that's the truth. You know, they say the truth hurts, and hey, it is what it is. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. Obviously, they didn't give enough information on, you know, what that disrespect could be. Like I said, if he's just being plainly rude to, you know, women, okay, all right, that's understandable. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Why are you just gonna be rude for no reason? That just makes no sense. And I understand if, you know, she was doing something to warrant that rudeness. Okay, cool. I understand that, you know, cause and effect at that point. But if you're just being rude to be rude's sakes, it's just like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to cut the thread short so we can get into Love is Blind. I've had 3 different occurrences of this, so here they are. Start talking about, Start talking a lot about an old friend of mine. She's so cool. We hang out until 3 a.m. Yesterday. Saying that he worries I'm going to leave him for another person one day. Jealous of my friends. Saying some of my friends must have a crush on me, which to some degree that's probably true. Way more lovey-dovey than usual. Okay. The first one, yes. Okay, the first one, if your dude is talking about your friends and they're like, oh yeah, we talked like 3 in the morning till 3 in the morning and stuff like that. Okay, nigga, what you talking to my friends for till 3 in the morning? Like what? Hold on. What the fuck is going on with that one? You know what I mean? I'm like, wait, hold up. Wait a minute. That's nah, you know? The second one, she kind of 2-parted it a little bit. But saying he worries I'm going to leave him for another person one day, / jealous of my friends. I don't know. I mean, you must have a lot of guy friends, if I'm being honest with you, and you must be very close to these guy friends. And then on top of that, you must be very open and kind of friendly when it comes to new guys talking to you. And that can put a bit of thoughts into a guy's head and kind of make you think like, what the fuck, you know, why are you so friendly with these dudes? Why are you talking to them for so long? You know, like what is going on? And sure, you could sit there and be like, but that, you know, he shouldn't be insecure. He shouldn't think that way. He shouldn't do that. But I think it's just natural, because if the shoe's on the other foot and he's talking to these other girls and he's being friendly to those girls, you would think the same thing. So it's not really that insecure now, is it? You know? It's not really more of like that's just your problem. Like, no, because if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be thinking the same thing. You'd be like, oh shit, why is he so friendly to that girl? Why has he been talking to her for so long? Blah, blah, blah. So it's like, come on, you know what I mean? Now the whole like, saying some of my friends must have a crush on me, that tells me that you have a lot of guy friends. And to some degree, I don't think it's a thing where it's a crush. It's more of like, these guys are low-key trying to smash. Regardless, I mean, they could be your best friend. They could be, you know, a guy you've known since kindergarten, whatever. It does not matter how long the guy has known you or who he is in your life. If presented the opportunity, he would have sex with you. And it just is what it is. And as the boyfriend, we know that. And we have to kind of mitigate that a little bit to let homeboy know, but in a way where you don't know I'm letting him know that, hey, look, that's mine. And if you try something, I'm going to whoop that ass. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? But, you know, we can't come off as jealous. We can't come off as clingy. We can't come off as this and that, so on and so forth. There's so much things we can't come off as. And that's just that tough line we kind of have to walk. I really don't think that's a sign of indication of, like, cheating. I really don't. Just because it's like, those are normal things that dudes deal with every single day. And a lot of times girls look at it as like, oh, that's insecure. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. And it's like, again, the shoe was on the other foot. If he had this female friend that was very clingy and it looked like if given the chance, she would sleep with your man, you'd be feeling the same way. And you would be doing the same thing of like letting that bitch know that that is your man, but doing it without letting him know that that's what you're doing. Again, come on now. You know, that this works both ways, crazy enough. So, hey. But the last one I don't really get. I think that's the whole love bombing thing. I think that's because being more lovey-dovey than usual, like, for me in a relationship, there's some days where I don't really want to be lovey-dovey with you. And, you know, like I want to get my work done. I want to do the things I want to do. Sure, I'll maybe watch a movie with you. You know, let's go out to eat, stuff like that. You know, and I may not be as lovey-dovey. But then there are some days where I just want to love on you. I just want to kiss on you. I just want to, you know, you're my baby. Oh, my God. So, like, come on, man. That one, I don't think so, just because it's like, I think it's more of the love bombing thing where you're like, you're doing like large gestures and you know what I mean? You're constantly like throughout the day just buying her a bunch of stuff like, oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this because I don't want you to ever leave me. Oh, I'm doing this because I don't ever want you to, you know what I mean? You're bargaining at things for love, you know what I mean? And compliance and all that kind of stuff. That I can kind of see. You know, the lovey-dovey more than usual though, I think that's just a guy thing. Like, guys are gonna be lovey-dovey with you one day, and then next day they're gonna be like, look, man, I just want to play my game. Look, man, I just want to, you know, kick it with my friends, my boys. Look, man, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of just want our space, but it don't mean we don't love you. It's just today is just not that day. Yeah, I mean, but I think that's what she's going with. She's going with the love bombing kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna let that one be the end of the thread though. So that way I can have some time to get through Love is Blind as well as getting to some of you guys' scenarios. I might not be able to get to 2 of them. It might be a long episode. I have no idea, but we'll see. I'm going to get through announcements though. But again, if you have, you know, get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about all the scenarios or the things that we got through in this thread. And then let me know, you know what I mean? What are some signs that your partner might be cheating? You might have some that we didn't cover. Let me know in the comments. But let's get through the announcements. Goodness gracious. Patreon.com/MyLeAsshole Podcast. If you want an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on Tuesday and Sunday shows, get on the Patreon. Check that out. It's in the link tree down in the description. If you are an audio listener, keep downloading the podcast. Rate us 5 stars if you haven't already. Helps out a lot. I appreciate you guys. I love you all so much for that support. You guys have been killing the support lately, and I've been loving it. If you want to help us out even more on the free 99 side of things, yes, you heard me right, free 99. Go ahead and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Helps out a lot, man, and it's for free, baby. And you know what I say? If it's for free, then it's for me. Okay. All right. So, we are going to get into Love is Blind, Season 7. Now, last season, I think, was an extreme disappointment. Reason being is because I felt like everybody was clout chasing. All right? I really did. I felt like nobody was on the fucking show for love. I felt like they were on the show because they were clout chasing. And they just wanted that blue check. That pissed me off. I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Now, were there some couples that were looking for love? 100%. Were there some people that were looking for love? 100%. But I think for the most part, everybody was clout chasing. And it was so bullshit. Because even in the reunion, it was the same shit. It was just full of drama and it was full of BS. I didn't really care for it. I was like, what the fuck? This season is no fucking difference. And it pisses me off. Because I'm like, bruh, nobody is on this show, I feel, to actually find love. Now, there are a couple people who I do feel are here for the love. Okay, and I hope that, you know, they do make it through. We're gonna go through each person one by one, and if you are an audio listener, I'll try to inform you on which person that we're on. If not, head over to YouTube and follow us, there. So that way you can, I have a picture of them on screen there above me, of each person we're going to talk to. And we're going to go couple by couple. So I'm going to go guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, girl. Okay. So we're going to start with our boy Garrett. Garrett, I think, is a great guy. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he is that dude who just keeps his head down. He's a nerdy guy. You know what I mean? He's like, I'd love to find love, but hey, if I don't find it, it is what it is. Now, Who he matched with is Taylor. And I'm like, and Taylor is my favorite girl. I'm going to say it now. She's best girl of season 7. She is. She's best girl. I absolutely adore her because she is also a little nerd too. And I love her sense of humor as well, where she just kind of likes to poke fun and kind of nag you back a little bit. I love that. And I think they have a really good dynamic. It scared me almost because it almost seemed like she had a commitment issue. It was just like he would be like, yeah, you want to be my girlfriend? And she was just like, I don't know, maybe. And then when he had like sent that thing to the dorm, I think it was like some flowers and it was like a little note or whatever. And she was just like, oh, I don't know. I was like, please tell me you're playing around and you don't have like commitment issues or anything. Cause it was just worrying me. And I was just like, I hope my boy Garrett is not like in for something, But I think they are one of the couples that are actually here for love, if I'm being real with you. I do. I think they're one of the couples that are here for love. Just because Taylor was very reserved in the pods. She didn't really give away too much. They didn't talk about looks at all. They didn't even like mention, hey, let's not talk about looks. They didn't mention that not once, and I thought that was great. They really took the experiment on, and I think they really found something that is going to be great. Now, this is one of those things where it's like they're great together now, but I feel like Taylor's family is going to have a big issue with the way that they met and the way that they're going to get married and all that kind of stuff. Just because she is Chinese, and her family, I feel, is going to be like, yo, I'm glad you got you a white American man with good job, but do you really know this man? And is he really with you for you? I personally think that she hid her ethnicity because it's kind of been a thing where Asian women have been fetishized. I could be completely wrong. Okay, this is just what I think is the reason why she hid her ethnicity, is because Asian women are kind of fetishized a little bit, and she didn't want guys to be like, oh, she's Asian, let's go. Oh, do you like anime? Oh, do you like boba? Yeah, I guarantee you, in her dating life, she has gotten that way too much. Oh, let's go on a boba date. Oh, let's go to the EDM club. Oh, do you like smooshy? You know what I mean? It's fucking retarded. Like, if you're an Asian girl out there, you're probably like, facts, I can't stand it. And you have no idea how much fucking, milk and tapioca I've sucked down in the last week just going on, boba dates with dudes because they think that that's what I want. They think that's the only thing I like and the only thing I'm fucking interested in. So I get it. You know what I mean? She was like, I don't want to deal with the stereotypes. I don't want to deal with the cliche BS. You can't see me, and I want to play off of that. So I was like, cool. I'm about it, But I think they're doing great. Again, when they meet the parents, I haven't seen that episode yet. I'm kind of saving my next couple episodes till like all the way. I want to wait until everything comes out and then I'll revisit it. But I definitely think that her parents are gonna have a big issue with, you guys met so quick, you guys are getting married, like this is so fast, you know what I mean? But I don't know, you never know. It could be a thing where she may not care. She may not care. She may just be like, you know what? Fuck it, Like, who cares? Like, I love you and I know what I want and I'm about it. You know what I mean? She may be that way. You never fucking know. But let's move on to our next couple here. This fucking guy. Fuck this guy. All right? Fuck this guy. Mr. I'm here for a check mark. All right? Mr. I am here for a check mark. Do not, and I mean do not, get in my comments And me and talk about, oh, this man was looking for love. No, he wasn't. No, he fucking wasn't. He was not looking for love. All right? This man, all he fucking talked about was how he had money and he was afraid that a girl only liked him for his money and that he has a good job and that he's well off and that he comes from a rich family and all. Like, bro, no fucking substance at all. And then he talks like this. Oh yeah, you know, I'm really well off and like I really like, nigga, what? And I guarantee you it's a thing where he has money and he has status to some degree, because he is in the art world and stuff like that. So I'm sure he has some status and recognition. And so it's one of those things where he's got money and he has status and recognition, so he doesn't really need a personality to get women. And that's why I'm like, what, you're on this show simply because you just want either more notoriety or, you know, you're just fucking bored. Like, dude, I guarantee you don't have an issue getting women. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. In the line of work that you have, you know, how well off you are and all this, all that, you don't have a problem. He's a handsome guy. I give him that. So it's like, dude, that's why I'm like, you're not here for love. And then how he acted to Hannah when Hannah was like, oh, I'm with Nick. And we gonna get to Hannah's bitch ass. But how Hannah was like, I want to be with Nick, so I'm going to break things off with Leo. And then he's over here like a kid who has never been told no before because he's a spoiled fucking brat. Oh, really? This is what you're going to do to us, Hannah? Wow. I thought you were going to at least give us a chance. Look, I know you're connected with other people, and I am too. And that's a part of the thing, but you couldn't have even like told me. Oh, what the heck? Like, bro, chill out. This is why she's breaking up with you, man, because you can't handle being told no. You're gonna lash out like a little fucking child. Like, dude, come on, man. Okay, and then we're gonna get into Brittany. All right, look, Brittany, the only reason you stuck with Leo was because he had money. All right. She was like, once Leo mentioned that, you know, he was a well-off person and that, you know, he's, you know, an art dealer and very respected and all this and all that, she said it herself. Oh, I've only dealt with men with money and men with status and all that. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, I've always had my lifestyle paid for me. You know, my hair and my nails and my expensive Pilates classes or whatever the fuck she said. It's like, once a girl has had that lifestyle and has dated those kind of men, she's not going to go to a normal Joe. She's not going to date a normal guy. Fuck no. She's not going to date a 9-to-5 guy. She's not going to date a dude who doesn't have the ability to give her that lifestyle. Fuck no. She's going to go with the guy for money. And that's why she clung to Leo. And then she was upset that Leo was talking to Hannah. And she's like, I'm not the only one. No, bitch. And you probably wouldn't be the only one outside of this experience either. That's why every guy that you've been with has had a multiple of you. Because that's how affluent men are. Affluent men look at it like, bro, why am I going to be with just one chick? I got the money and the status and the good looks and the charms and all that to be with multiples of you. So why not? And so with her knowing that, it's like, you think Leo, just because he's on this show, is any different? Nah, come on, baby. He's already proven that to you by sitting there and leading Hannah along, you know what I mean? And then possibly leading you on. And then don't get me started with their reveal. Oh, their reveal was fucking trash. Oh my God, their reveal was trash. Leo had a boner the whole time. Leo had a fucking boner the whole time. Now, don't get me wrong. Brittany is beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful. And it seemed like all he wanted to do was just kiss on her and hold her and have sex with her. Yeah, my man's was just trying to fuck. And Brittany was not about it. Brittany was not about it. She was just like, oh man, like I don't think she liked him. I don't think she thought he was physically attractive. She was like, fuck, he's a skinny little nerd. Like that's not attractive to me. That's not my type. Yeah, I don't think she was physically attracted to him. And I think that's just what it was. Yeah, I just feel like she was not attracted to him at all. You could tell. And then I don't think she wanted to be a wife. You know, I think she was looking at it like, you know, I want to go through this, get my little blue check mark and move on. And that's why I don't think she was there for love either. I think it was a thing where she wanted to go on this show. She was probably going to align herself with somebody and then get all the way to the end, say no, get her blue check mark and move on. I really don't think that she was here for love. I think it was a thing where she happened to find Leo and be like, ooh, I didn't think I was going to find something I was looking for, which is a man who's got some money and some status and can give me my little lifestyle, you know? And so that's why I think she clung to Leo so much, because she was like, oh shit, I didn't think I was going to find an affluent guy up in here, but now that I did, I'm going to align myself with him. But if I'm being honest with you, I probably won't go all the way to the end with him, you know? And if I do, then, you know, because Leo even talked about prenups and all that kind of stuff. He did. He talked about it with Hannah. I'm sure he talked about it with Brittany. It wasn't shown that he talked about it with Brittany, but it was shown that he talked about it with Hannah, because Hannah ain't got no job. And so he looking at it like, bitch, this is not a meal ticket. All right. If I choose you, this ain't no meal ticket. All right. Don't even try with me on that. Okay. But with Brittany, you know, I guarantee you that came up. And I think that when it got to the reveal, she, for one, didn't find him attractive. Two, she was like, fuck, can I really go through with this prenup if I do decide to marry him? You know? So, like I said, I think them two, I'm glad that the producers did not decide to continue their story, because they would have just been a train wreck the whole time, and they're just there for blue check marks. Sorry. You know what I mean? You guys were just there for blue check marks. I can't be convinced any otherwise. It sucks, but it just is what it is. It's like, dude, you know, I really thought that, you know, Brittany was there because she was really sweet. She had a great personality. But then when she was in the confessionals and, you know, it was just kind of the one-on-one, that's when you could tell, because she's just like, oh yeah, I'm so used to dating rich men. I'm so used to dating guys that would give me an allowance, because my hair and my nails and my Pilates classes and all this, they're very expensive. And I need a guy that can take care of that, you know? And it's just like, yeah, I know why you here. So yeah, that's that, you know. Okay, Nick D, brother. This guy, if I'm being honest with you, I think he's a good guy. But I think he's very, how should I say it? Because there was one thing that stood out to me with this guy, and it was the fact that he kind of talked himself up to Hannah. You know what I mean? Because Hannah in later episodes even said it to herself, like, oh yeah, he said that he was very athletic, and I was thinking that he was this, you know, big burly guy, and he's not, you know, he's kind of a smaller guy and all this kind of stuff, you know. And she felt intimidated with that because, you know, she's a bigger girl, she's a little, you know, she's a little chubby. And so with her, she was kind of just like, what the fuck, you know, you kind of talked yourself up to me. And then something has stood out to me where he was just like, oh yeah, you know, I agree with him, but at the same time, it's just not the reality, where he was just like, oh yeah, you know, you don't need to be the guy that has the big house and the nice car and all this and all that. And it's just like, sadly, to some degree you do though. You know what I mean? Because you have to realize Hannah ain't got no job, bruh. And she's looking for a nigga with some stability. And I just don't think that their relationship has stability. I think their relationship is great for what it is right now, because they don't have to think about that. Like, Hannah doesn't have to think about getting a job right now. Nick doesn't really have to worry about really providing for her right now. But I guarantee you, if you took this relationship outside of this experiment, it would never work. And I don't think Hannah would even date him. Hannah wouldn't even give him the time of day. I really don't. Because a girl who doesn't have a job, for one, and is really looking for a dude, and of course she's looking for a guy to provide. Let's not cap here. She's looking for a guy to provide. She's looking for a guy to, take care of that. I don't think Nick has the ability to do that for her. It's going to be a thing where their relationship is going to get very financially pressed. She's going to have to get a job, and it's going to force her to get a job she doesn't want to get. Because, mind you, she said that she had the dream job and she gave it up to come onto the show, which I think is retarded. Why? Because women have the pick of the litter when it comes to men. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of shitty dudes out there, 100%. But you could have easily fit dating into your work schedule, and you didn't have to quit your job just to, be with somebody. You didn't have to do that. That was stupid. That was fucking stupid of you. And then, then we'll move on, obviously, to Hannah. I've already touched on, her a little bit. But personally, I think Hannah's here for a blue check. I really do. I think she's here for a blue check. I really don't. I think she quit her job. She came onto this show under the guise of, I quit my job to look for love. No, baby, you quit your job so that way you could start your influencer career. That's what I'm thinking you're doing. Because if I'm being honest with you, and the way she's been with Nick D and all that, it just doesn't seem like she's there for love. I mean, my man rode a fucking stone duck, and she's over here, I got the ick. Now, I understand, some old lady is calling her a bitch or whatever, yeah, sure, he probably should have stood up for you or said something, whatever. But if I'm being honest with you, man, you don't find him physically attractive. Almost everybody has had sex with their partner except for you and your guy. Why? Because you're not physically attracted to him. You tried to sit there by the pool and say, oh, you know what? Like, I'm kind of getting physically attracted to him. Like, it's kind of getting there, cap, like, so it's just one of those things where it's like, because it's not set up. Damn it. I'm sorry. My buttons aren't set up. But, it's one of those things where it's just like, dude, you can't convince me that, she's not here for a blue check, dude. It's written all in her actions, man. Like, you quit your job to be on here. And honestly, when I first heard about that, I was like, whoa, I was like, yo, this girl must be really serious. But then the more and more, I started to kind of see how she dealt with the guys. Because look, she gave up Nick, right? She broke up with him. She was like, I'm done. The instant she felt like Leo wasn't going to pick her, she went crawling back to Nick instantly, because she wants to get to the next stage of the show. That's what it is. She needs to get picked. She needs to get picked, because if she doesn't get picked and she goes home during the pod stage, her quitting her job, it doesn't make it, it was for nothing. Her quitting her job was for nothing. She's trying to start an influencer career. So she needs as much airtime as she can. So she needs to get picked. That's why the moment Brittany came to that door and was like, oh my God, I had a great date with Leo, she was like, oh, fuck. Leo ain't gonna pick me. I need to align myself with a guy who will pick me. So that way I can continue on. I can get the most airtime. I can start my influencer career, and I can get that blue check. That's what she's here for. She's here for a fucking blue check and an influencer career. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right, Ramses. I like this guy. I do. I like this guy. I haven't really found anything I don't like about him just yet. He's been a very straightforward guy. He tells it like it is. He'll really let you know what's on his mind. He's unapologetically honest. You know what I mean? Like, throughout like a lot of the girls that he was dating in the pods and stuff like that, through the small instances we would see of him dating girls in the pod, he was just very honest with them, you know, and he was cutting bitches left and right, for being real with you. And I like that about him. I think he's a good guy. I think him and Marissa are really good together. I really like them together. I think, you know, they are a good couple for each other. And yeah, I just overall like this dude. I think he's there for love. I think he's there for good reasons, and he wants to be with somebody, and he really wants to, you know, see this through with Marissa. Now, Marissa, the military hoe. No, I'm just kidding. I'm playing around. I do think that she was getting passed around in the barracks, though. Let's be real, because it's like she just kind of gives off that vibe. You know what I mean? She's very hypersexual. She's very, you know, out there. She is a bit of a liberal, you know what I mean? And she doesn't really care too much about that, which is weird to me, because it's like, being a military vet, I would think that you would be a little more conservative. But I mean, you know, I guess, you know, to each its own. Maybe that's something that, maybe that was the reason why she got out of the military. I don't know. But a lot of women that I've known in the military, it's like you either find a man to get married to, or you get passed around in the military. It's one of two. And I have a lot of buddies, you know, who are Marines, who are in the Navy and the Army and stuff like that. And they tell me a lot of times, they're like, look, man, 90% of the girls that go into military service, they either are going to find a husband, or they're going to get passed around, you know. And since Marissa's still single, I don't know if she's been previously married. I don't think so. I don't think she ever mentioned anything like that. But since she's not married and she's not in a relationship like that and stuff, I think she got a little history on her. I don't know, but that's my assumption on how she's been moving and how she's been, you know, kind of talking with my boy Ramses. I hope that she can really get out of that, you know, liberal, independent woman thing, and really enjoy being with a man and being married to him, and, you know, having that relationship and being a wife, because I think a lot of women want to be married, but they don't want to be wives. So that's kind of, I think, where she's at, where she's like, I want to be married, but I don't know if I want to be a wife, you know. And again, in Mexico, they seemed great. They seemed fantastic. She seemed like a wonderful girl. She seems like she's really attached to Ramses. She seems like she really wants to be in this relationship and really wants to find love. And I hope that's true, man. Like I said, I've just been seeing some actions and some behaviors that really indicate that, yeah, baby, you got a bit of a past on you, and it might be tough for you to fully commit all the way, you know what I mean, to a marriage and want to be with a guy that seriously. So I don't know. Again, I think she's there for love, and I think her and Ramses might make it all the way. But if there is a no at the altar, I feel it's going to be her that says no. All right. Okay, on to our next one. We got our boy Stefan, man. I love this guy. I inspire to be like this guy, man. If I'm being honest with you, like the next girl that I date, I want to be this guy. I truly think he's here for love. I truly think that he is a big teddy bear. You know, he's my albino nigga. You know what I mean? He's so proud to be 10% African. You know, it's just, I think he loves his culture. He loves his family. He loves who he is. And I think he wants to just pour that love onto the person that he's with. And I think he just wants to find love, man. I love this guy. I give him a 10 out of 10. And I think a lot of people who have watched at least, you know, episodes 1 through 7 so far, they can agree that he is just a big teddy bear. You know what I mean? He's that albino African nigga. You know what I mean? He's just that guy. He's a really good guy, man. Now, his girl Monica, I am so skeptical about. Okay? And the reason being is because I feel like she wants love and that she wants to be with somebody. But at the same time, I feel as if she looks at relationships like, if it's not perfect all the time, I don't want it. And I'll give you a good example. When they got back from, this was the first time that they went to the little party and they met everybody. You know, all the couples got to meet each other, and, you know, everybody got to meet each other. When Steven and Monica got back to their apartment, she seemed as if, for some reason, you know, I don't know if it was, she was just annoyed with Steven for no reason. Absolutely no fucking reason. They got back. She was asked him a question. Oh, you know, how did you, you know, what did you think about like all of the couples and and he was just like, oh, you know, I think everybody's great. You know, it was good to see the guys again. All the ladies seem really nice and they seem really sweet and they seem really in love with their guys. This and that. And you know, he's just explaining, and then she's just like, like, okay, all right, you're talking too much. Like, let me talk. You know, and it's just like, why are you upset about that? Why are you so mad? Like, relax. What's going on? And it made no sense to me, and it didn't click to me. And then I talked to a friend of mine, and she's just like, yeah, a lot of times those type of girls, they get annoyed so quickly because they just feel like, okay, you know, I don't want you talking about other people, talk about me, you know? And if your undivided attention is not on me, even if I didn't ask for it, I don't feel like, you know, you're in this with me or something. And I was like, huh, that's so weird. You know what I mean? And then they also have a feeling of like, oh, if one little thing they find wrong with the relationship, then, you know, they just instantly don't want to be in it. And I was like, really? And I feel like that's just kind of the vibe that she's giving off. I hope that's not true, just because I don't want her to hurt him, man. You know what I mean? And I feel like she's going to. I do feel like she's in love with him. I do feel like she's attracted to him. I do feel like she is giving this experiment a wholehearted 100% try. I do give her that. I just think that when it comes down to like these little things, she gets upset at them and she blows it up. You know, and that for me is like, oh, Monica, get your shit together, girl. Because you got a great guy who is just a lovey-dovey person, who's just a great personality, great person overall. Like, you got you a good one. Don't fumble this guy. You know what I mean? That's just how I see that. Okay. My man, Tim. Okay. Tim and Alex's relationship, we didn't really get to see too much of it. Obviously, we had a lot of heartfelt moments, you know what I mean? His sisters passed away, you know, and he keeps their class rings on a necklace. He gave Alex a bracelet, you know, that kind of symbolizes his sisters and stuff like that. You could tell he's a really big family-oriented guy, and he's a dude who just really is in his own. You know, he really cares about the people who are close to him. You know, once he loves you to the ends of the earth. And I think he's a good guy, and I think he's a great fit for who he's with. I just think the way that he goes about relationships is not the best all the time. He's not the type of guy that's going to sit there and talk it out with you. Because even when, after the little get together, him and Alex had a bit of a falling out. And instead of sitting there and talking to Alex and trying to figure things out and being like, yo, what's going on? He just decided to close himself off, shut down, and go sleep somewhere else. Even when he came back and they talked again, he shut down and didn't want to talk to her. And it's like, how can you sit there and, you know what I mean, love somebody to the ends of the earth, and you're the type of guy that, you know, you care so much about the people that you love and the people that you're close to, but then when somebody that you love and is close to you, they have an issue and problems with things, you don't want to talk it out. You decide to shut down and leave, you know, and you're like, I'm not about this. I'm not about that. And it's like, bro, you know, like, he's so quick to give up. And it's like, you can't do that in a relationship. You can't just give up when shit gets hard or when you don't feel like it. You got to go through the tough times and the tough tribulations. And I really think that that's what's going to break them up. I really think that when they move in together and they're back in the real world and they have their phones and all this, stuff, the distractions and work and all that, I really think that the moment him and Alex get into any disagreement or argument or fight or anything like that, he's going to shut himself off, and Alex is not going to be about that. Alex is going to be like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why won't you talk to me? Why won't you talk this out? Why won't you let me in to what you're thinking and how you're feeling? What is going on, dude? What are you doing? So I just think that it's one of those things where it's going to be tough for him, especially when they have hard times, and I'm hoping for the best. Okay, now we got our girl Alex. My biggest thing with her is we didn't really get to know much about her. I feel like she got to know Tim, but Tim didn't get to know her. And she is a great girl. I think that, she is definitely looking for love. I think that she is, because just the way she handled the Tim situation when he was kind of closed off and, he was like, I don't feel hurt and so on and so forth. And she, was cuddling up to him like, I'm sorry and I love you and all this stuff. And I think she has a great banter with Tim to where, they kind of go back and forth and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think that she's in the same boat as Monica, where any little thing that she doesn't like the whole, when he's like, oh, I'm a dog, you know what I mean? That's my dog. She gets annoyed at just the littlest things. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, girl, what are you doing? Like, why? I don't understand why women would just get annoyed at just the littlest fucking things, but I don't know. Again, I really think that that's where it's going to be with their relationship. It's going to be tough for them to like get past their issues, any issues that they have in there. And then, she even said it herself that, she doesn't like to be aggressive and masculine and all that kind of stuff, but with the way he's being, she kind of feels like she has to be, when she doesn't want to be. And so I'm excited to see where their relationship goes, but I think I have a good beat on their relationship to where when it's good, and when it's bad, it's going to be bad for them. So, all right, we're going to get into our last couple. We have Tyler and Ashley, and Tyler and Ashley, love them. Tyler and Ashley, I feel the same way about Garrett and Taylor. Garrett, Taylor, Ashley, and Tyler. I think those two couples are our couples. Ramses, don't get me wrong, Ramses and Melissa, I think it's on her end. I think she is enjoying it and she's loving it because it's brand new. But I just don't know if she could long-term commit 100% all the way in. I think she wants to be married, but she doesn't want to be a wife, because I guarantee you Melissa's had chance after chance after chance to get married and to be with a guy forever and long term and stuff like that. And I just don't think the commitment is there on her side. And that's why I'm so iffy on their relationship. But with Tyler and Ashley, I think they have an amazing, God-fearing relationship where they are on the same boat. They really love each other and they're really there for each other. Ashley seems a little apprehensive, like, I've heard this before. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, even when they were in the hot tub, she kind of seemed like, look, I've heard a lot of guys say this. I've heard a lot of guys be like this. And then I think at the same time, Tyler is a bit of a crybaby. All right. I think he's a little too emotional, and Ashley is just like, I need a fucking man. When times get tough, I don't need you to be crying on me, nigga. I need you to be stepping up to the plate. And I think that's what he's been doing a lot. This nigga's been crying a lot. And that's for me where I'm like, all right, bro, you need to kind of get your shit together. You need to stop crying, and you need to, like, man up a little bit. And I think that's where Ashley gets a little apprehensive with him, is like, can I really be with a man who's this emotional? Don't get me wrong. I love that you open up to me and I love that you want to talk to me about your feelings, but I need to know that when times get tough, you're the man that's leading the charge and not crying in the back, So their relationship is going to go through a lot of ups and downs, just because in the hard times, is he going to step up or is he going to cry? Yeah, because again, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best for them, because I do like them as a couple, and I do think that they are ready for a commitment of that size. But again, I think he needs to kind of get out of his feelings a little more and get a little more into being a leader, being a man, being a role model, a guide to his woman, because that's what she wants. That's what Ashley wants. Ashley's like, I want a man that's going to lead me, that's going to take me to the promised land of, honey and milk and cookies and all that good shit. But I need to know that he can do that in a time of peril as well as a time of peace. Because obviously we're in a time of peace right now and everything's great and everything's fine. But I mean, when shit hits the fan, I need to know that my man's going to be there, But, as far as Ashley, though, I think she is wonderful. I think, she is actually on this show looking for love. I think she really is in a nonsense, no BS like mode of her life right now. She's just like, look, man, if you ain't got it, I ain't about it, and I'm up out of this bitch. Like she is just cutting heads. Okay, like she cutting heads off. She's like, I'm done. I ain't trying to do all that, So I really like her. I think her and Tyler are good. I just think it's on Tyler's end where he needs to kind of just boost it up a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's that. That's the cast of Love Is Blind. Season 7. That's all our couples up till now. Obviously, I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm excited to see, where this goes, because like I said, a lot of the couples I enjoy. I really like. I think some people are there for love. There are a lot of people who are there for the blue check marks. And, it is what it is, man. Like, that's really what this show has become. That's why there was so much dirt on, the season 6 cast. There was so much dirt on everybody. And it was just like, dude, like there was shit coming out every single week on each one of the cast members. It was like, this dude had a secret girlfriend. This dude was married. This guy rented a house and that wasn't his real house. And, this dude was doing this and this girl was doing that and she was doing that. It's just like, I think this show has become where it's like, people are looking for blue check marks. They're not really looking for love like it's supposed to be. They're not looking for a long-term marriage. They're just looking to kind of be in a relationship, see where things go. And even if they say no at the altar, they'll just get back together after the show, and they'll just date, and that's that. Or, they'll find somebody else from the pod squad, or, they'll find somebody else that, they had a connection with, but, they didn't pick that person. So now that, they didn't get married to that person, they can go and see if that person's still available, whatever. So, you know what I mean? And it's happened a lot. And I think it's definitely going to happen big time when we have our second little meetup. Usually they have the second meetup where everybody gets together. All the people that got chosen, all the people that didn't get chosen, they're all going to be in one room. And I think it's going to be some drama, if I'm being real with you. I think it's going to be some drama. Because there were some love triangles and there were people who were connecting with other people and they didn't connect, they didn't really find that. So we'll see, man. We'll fucking see. We'll see. But that's Love Is Blind. Hope you guys have been enjoying it and been following it like I have, because it's going to get juicy. It's going to get juicy. That's all I know. I will revisit it, though, after the altars. So after the altar and all that stuff, we'll go ahead and we'll revisit it and we'll talk about it. It is over an hour. I will do 3 scenarios. We'll go over them, and then we'll end out today's show. Today's show is going to be a bit of a longer one because of Love Is Blind, but, your boy wanted to cook. All right. Found out my mother-in-law's boyfriend/fiance cheating. Oh, shit. Who do I tell? So, my in-laws came to visit newly born. Oh, wait, what? came to visit newly born, my husband's first child, 8 months. Okay. This was their second visit, but first seeing my son from a previous relationship since the wedding in 2021. And he's now 16 years old. For context, I know my son smokes pot, and I'd rather he's home, outside the home, but still, rather than on the street with God knows who, especially in the state we live in. Okay, English must not be your first language. Okay, so the in-laws came to visit their newborn baby. Okay, and then this is their second visit after their first one seeing their son, or seeing her son, from a previous relationship. So she has a son, and then with her previous baby daddy, now she's with another guy. They just had a child. So the in-laws are coming to see. He's 16. He smokes the pot, but she's like, you know what? I'd rather you smoke it here than being out with, the crackheads and boo-boo the fool on the side of the road. Okay. So my mother-in-law's fiance / boyfriend wanted to go fishing and discussed with my son and husband while they were smoking. I was inside napping with aforementioned 8-month-old. Husband stayed behind to help mother-in-law cook dinner while my son and fiance / boyfriend went fishing. Okay. So the mother-in-law's boyfriend and her son went fishing and smoking. On said walk to the river on the premises of the complex, fiance / boyfriend disclosed to my son that he was cheating on my mother-in-law with another woman who is an employee at the same place as both mother-in-law and boyfriend work in Connecticut. He gave my son a bunch of weed, and I questioned why until my son spilled the beans. Do I tell my husband or do I tell my mother-in-law? I would tell your husband, and then you guys should come up with a plan together. Because that's some crazy work. You know what I mean? And the fact that he even disclosed that to the son is kind of wild too, because it's like, nigga, what are you doing? That's going to come back on you, right? There's a possibility that might come back on you, and the son might tell somebody, I'm sure you would have known that, right? But I guess not. So, yeah, what I would do is I would tell your husband, and then you guys come up with a plan together. Because, it could be, if you go straight to the mother-in-law, I think that's going to be very messy, and I think that's going to be very difficult. Talk to your man, and that way your man can kind of be like, okay, all right, look, this is what we're going to do. You know what I mean? We can go meet up with my mom. We can talk to her. And then, we all three can formulate a plan, try to see if we can get some evidence. We can try to, so on and so forth. That way, it's not just like a he said, she said kind of thing. Because don't get me wrong. Yes, he told the son, but then he could flip it and be like, oh, well, I mean, I didn't say that. Your son's probably lying. All the fucking weed he smokes, he probably thought I said something when I didn't say it. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to get some hard evidence and being like, yeah, look, are you cheating on me? We found this. And, not only that, but my son said that you told him that you were cheating too. You know what I mean? You kind of need that to be a supporting thing, not the one thing, because then he's going to try to backtrack it and you guys are just going to ruin it. Talk to your man, and then, you guys could probably convene and talk to his mom, and then you guys can come up with some shit together. But yeah, that's a crazy story. Wow. Woo! Good luck with that one. Damn. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. Maybe give her advice on what you would do. Maybe you'd do something different than me. Am I wrong for being uncomfortable about my girlfriend downloading an app to make friends, specifically guys? I don't know. Because why in the hell why are you on an app? Why are you trying to meet guys? I understand if, you want to meet some girlfriends or, you want to meet friends or whatever. The girl I started talking to, she said that she was on Bumble to meet girlfriends. Now, I don't know how true that is, but, you know what I mean? A lot of times you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. But, her and I are still talking, but, she said that she was looking to meet friends. maybe you can do that. But you know, she didn't say that she was meeting guys. So I don't know. I just wonder why, if you're in a relationship, you would want to be on an app to meet guys. That's weird. Okay, so I'm 24, male, in a relationship with my girlfriend, 23, female, and I was just curious about those of you with partners who use apps to make friends. For context, my girlfriend just moved from out of state and is looking to make new friends in the area. I'm not opposed to her making friends, and I wish the best for my partner. I wouldn't want her to feel lonely, and I also know it's not healthy to be super dependent on your partner to fill that void. Something I should mention is that we've been doing long distance for almost 2 years. This past year has been pretty hard since earlier in the year, she had moved even further than the previous distance out of state, and it has been taking a toll on our relationship. At some point when she moved in, we discussed about our current relationship state, and she told me that she's a bit unsure about our relationship. I am only her second boyfriend. She said that lately she's been wondering if there are other options or if there's other better people out there. She's not looking for friends, bro. She's not looking for friends. Yeah, no, she's not looking for friends, bro. No.
She belongs to the streets.
She ain't looking for friends, bro. No, she's not looking for friends. What she's doing is she's looking for a better guy that she can actually spend time with and not be long distance with. Yeah, nah, man. That relationship is over with, my guy. It's over with. It's done. Because I guarantee you she's already at least talking to at least one or two other guys right now. And I think she guised it under, I'm just looking for friends. But it's like friendships will turn into relationships. And I'm sure they'll turn into it real quick. You know, and it's going to be a thing where you don't hear from her the whole day. And she's going to be like, oh, my God, you know. And you're like, how was your day? And she's like, oh, it was good. You know, I went out with a friend and da-da-da. When in reality, she went out on a date, you know, and she got to know dude. And, you know, she's starting to like dude. And then before you know it, she's going to be slowly texting you less and less and less. And then, you know, before you know it, you're completely ghosted and wondering what's going on. And she's out here sucking on next man's penis. And it's just... yeah, bro, that relationship is over. Like that is where your relationship is heading 1000%. That's where it's going. That's where it's gonna be. Like, you need to just cut this off now. The fact that she said to you, oh, I'm just wondering if there's other options and maybe there's better out there. Yeah, it's over with. It's over with. It's done. It's done. She's already thinking about the next guy, you know? So... yeah, bro. She said, but also she is afraid of losing me.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'd like to think that I treat her as best as I can, and she acknowledges that too, saying things like, what if nobody can really treat me better than you? Or, you've always been consistent and even argue that you want to do more for me. Hearing those words hurt, knowing that my best is barely enough for her to still doubt me. Although I completely understand where she's coming from since the beginning of our relationship, I would constantly remind her that I know that I'm her only second boyfriend and that we're still young. If at any point she decides she wants somebody else, she should leave or I'll break us up because I refuse to be second option when I have been putting her first. Facts. And if I'm being honest with you, if a girl really loves you and wants to be with you and she really sees you as that guy and the end all be all, she's not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, you know, we're too young. Oh no. I think we're moving too fast. Oh, I'm having FOMO and maybe there's somebody. Nah, man. She's not even going to have those thoughts. Those thoughts won't even enter her mind. She won't even be thinking about grass is greener on the other side. Why? Because you are all she needs when it comes to a relationship. You know, when it comes to that part of her life, you're all she needs. She doesn't care. She's like, fuck it, I don't give a shit if we're too young. I don't give a shit. Like, you're my guy. You are me. You know what I mean? You're mine, and that's that. You know, so I think the fact that you guys are long distance is what's making her think this. she's seeing all these guys around. I'm sure some guys have been like, wow, you're really beautiful and let me take you out and da-da-da. And she's kind of turning him down. But then she's just like, what if I didn't turn him down? What if I did like text him? And I think maybe she even started texting a guy, and talking to him and loving the dynamic. And they hung out maybe once or twice. And then that's kind of what's giving her the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. Now, sure, she's probably looking at it like, do I really want to be with another guy? Like, what if this guy doesn't want to be in a relationship with me? What if he just wants to have sex with me? And then once he does, then he stops talking to me, and then I gave up a great relationship. And I guarantee you that's a thought that's in her mind, 100%. But at the same time, that FOMO is always going to be there, regardless, I think she wants to go out, have her whole stage, and then come back to you. I think that's what she wants to do. Yeah. So that way she can kind of get it out of her system kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of this story, man. Look, the relationship's cooked. If I'm being honest with you, I think you need to break up with her. I think that she's not really in this as much as you are. And yeah, dude, it ain't looking good for you, man. It's just not. It's not looking good for you. So I would just tell her, hey, look, since you're thinking about being with next man and all this kind of stuff, look, I just, in the long distance has been testing our relationship. Like, I think it's best that you just go be with somebody else, and as much as that'll hurt you and as much as that'll suck. And, it's even like tough for me to even say that because I wouldn't even want to do that, but I would have to recognize and understand that this is where she's at in life. And this is what's going on. She's getting the FOMO. She wants to go out and see what there is, but I'm not going to be boo-boo the fool and sit here and stay in a relationship with you or even let you come back after you, taken all these penises and regretted it. You know what I mean? So just is what it is. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments though. All right, this is our last one for today. If you got this far in the episode, thank you, love you, appreciate you. Hopefully you like the Love is Blind breakdown, the thread, as well as all the scenarios we've gone through. Support us, man. Patreon.com/MyLastPodcast. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But without further ado, let's get into this last one. Am I wrong for not forgiving my for not giving my partner another chance after addiction? Oh, all right. Okay, so me, 30 female, my partner, 37 male, of 6 years, have been heavily using the cocaína over the last 2 years. We've had a lot of ups and downs, but last October I moved out with our kids as I thought it might be the fright he needs to stop. But instead, he became addicted to crack. Damn. Oh my God, this was a shock, and his personality completely changed. He let me down on so many occasions. It became instantly paranoid. He barely saw our boys, 3 and 7, for months. I witnessed him smoking it, and it was traumatizing. It was like I wasn't even there, and he was obsessed, ignoring me, crying, pleading with me to stop. Anyway, things became a lot worse. He went to rehab, which seems to have really helped. He is desperate to get back on track with our family, but I just can't switch off all the sadness he has caused. I feel repulsed by him for choosing drugs over our family. He is extremely upset with me for not wanting to work things out, but I don't know how to. Am I right for this feeling? I mean, can you ever trust someone who could relapse at any time? I don't want to hate him anymore, but I don't see how things can work. My mental health has been massively affected by this. I have to take time off of work due to the stress it's caused. I just can't put the kids and I through this again if he relapses. Just need advice, I guess. Thanks for reading. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong or the asshole at all for not wanting to give him a second chance or even forgiving him because, dude, heavy drug usage and all that kind of stuff leads to so many other things. Yeah, it's not just him doing it. It's not just him having, what is it? Like an addiction to it and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's also a financial component to this, too. If he's spending thousands of dollars a month on cocaína and crack, that's money that's being taken out of you and your son's mouths, if I'm being honest with you, for one. And then for two, if he owes people some money, they going to be looking for him, and that puts you and your sons in danger too. And so all of that is a big domino effect, and it's a big snowball effect, and it's a big thing where it's like you cannot let yourself like be a part of that. You know what I mean? You can't let yourself be a part of that, and you can't let your sons be a part of that. You need to let him deal with what he's going to deal with. Let him see his sons when he's clean, and if he's clean. You know what I mean? And just really focus on you and your sons. And that sucks because I'm always a proponent for like, nah, stick with your man. You know what I mean? Have your kids have a 2-parent household. You know what I mean? Really try to work things out. And I see that you're trying to do that and that you tried to do that, but it's just too much for you. And with something as bad as drugs, it's tough because there's, like I said, those components that go into it where it's like, is he going to relapse? Is he going to go into major debt? Are there going to be people looking after us if he goes into this debt? Is it going to put us in danger? Is he going to go to jail over this? It's just, you never know, dude. You never know. There's just so much that could happen. And so, yeah, I don't think you're the asshole, and I don't think you're wrong. But you guys let me know what you think about everything that we've covered in today's episode. Down in the comments below. Get in there, have a conversation with your boy. I love you all. I will see you on Tuesday for another crazy episode. Hope you guys enjoyed today's pretty long episode. Hopefully you got through the hour and damn near 30-minute episode. But, it had to be done, man. I had to cook some people. You know what I mean? It is what it is. All right. Love you all. See you on Tuesday. Peace.